You are about to enter Chuck versus the podcast, the place for people who love Chuck and the people who work on Chuck. The only show that takes you behind the scenes with the stars.
Yvonne Strahovski.
Zachary Levi. Joshua Gomez.
Ryan McParland.
Adam Baldwin.
Sarah Lancaster.
Interactive interviews.
Julia Ling.
Phil Clemmer.
All the cast.
Dixon High. Tony Hale. Scott Krinsky. Mark Christopher Lawrence.
Anita Friederisi.
Fun hosts.
This is Mel. This is Liz. Now you can see how wacko we are.
The writers.
Ali Adler. Scott Rosenbaum. Zev Barrow.
The editors.
Matt Barber. Jeff Granville. Kevin Mock.
Contests.
We are giving away a Chuck press kit.
The directors.
Jason Ensign. Norman Buckley.
The guest stars.
Steve Austin.
Kristen Group.
The music.
This is Tim Jones.
Guest hosts.
I'm Kaylee from Toronto.
Conventions.
Lights come up, and here comes Jester out on stage.
Set visits.
This is the guy right here.
And much more. Are you ready? This is great.
This is Mel.
This is Liz.
And we want to welcome you to Chuck versus the Podcast, episode 79 for Thursday, February 3rd, 2011. We have an amazing episode of Chuck to discuss, but first we got to get the news out of the way. So, first of all, the fast overnight ratings are in, and somehow Chuck hit a season low with last night's amazing episode, Chuck versus the Push Mix. It pulled in a 1.7 in the 18 to 49 demo with approximately 5.5 million viewers tuning in. And I honestly think that the winter storm hitting was largely to blame. I mean, a number of reasons that could be because the Cape also hit a series low with a 1.5 rating. And Harry's Law bounced back with a 2.1, but Mel had a great point in an email earlier that's the later part of the evening, and so the early part of the evening, people were probably stocking up, going shopping. I know we certainly were, gassing up the car, getting ready for the impending storm. It's hitting all over. It's hitting here in Canada, hitting all the northern states. I honestly think that that's what was to blame, but what do you guys think?
That's what I'm standing by. People calling me and, emailing me saying, if you don't have to go out, if you don't have to go to the store, don't, or my sister, can I get you anything? I'm at the store and it's packed. Mm-hmm. I mean, gas stations, there were lines out the street and just, this horrible panic. And then the pictures coming through of empty shelves in the stores. And it's crazy. And we are literally snowed in.
Yeah.
And it's the same all the way as south here as Kansas. We got off work early on Monday, thank goodness. So I was able to run by the store and grab what I needed and get home before the big rush. But my friend who lives across the street from the grocery store told me that it was jammed until around 8 o'clock last night, or on Monday night, with people getting their bread and milk. So yeah, that's what I think it was people getting out and getting their stuff and getting ready to hunker down.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry too much. NBC looks at the overall numbers. They don't look at just one night, and I think it's pretty obvious that this was just a blip.
I'm willing to see DVR numbers are for this one.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet over the next few days those numbers are going to climb because no one can go anywhere. Businesses are shut down. I mean, my business is shut down tomorrow.
We're off for 2 days.
Yeah,
which is unheard of for us, but it's that bad. So, Yep. Well, moving on, the Twit Change auction that you would have remembered from last autumn was a huge success, and they're going to do it again. Zachary Levi is participating once again. He has 4 different options up for bid, including a follow, a retweet, and a mention on his Twitter account. Proceeds benefit Operation Once in a Lifetime, whose mission is to make the dreams of soldiers and their families come true by providing free financial and morale support. And you can go to twitchange.com to find Zach's auction and bid on him.
Very cool.
He was one of the top 2 highest bid earners. I don't know how to say that. He was one of the top 2 that raised the most money last time, so we'll see how that works again. Chuck fans mobilized.
Chuck fans are good at charity. That's one thing I've got to say.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And we had a terrific response for the first ever Chuck fashion column. So it looks like it's here to stay, and there's going to be more. This week's, yeah, it's cool. I love this week's feature as well because we featured Ellie's 2 wedding dresses along with those kick butt boots that Sarah wore that caused so much lust out there, especially among us women. I don't know, there's some men out there, whatever. But you can find that all. You can find that all at Chuck Fashion Column at chucktv.net.
And this is the first time that I have a beer on the podcast. Moosehead for all those Canadians out there. And I want to toast Sarah Lancaster. We heard just recently that our own Ellie Bartowski married her boyfriend of 2 years, attorney Matthew Jacobs, on Saturday, and confirmed to People that she's expecting their first child later this year. So we want to extend very happy congratulations to the happy couple. And also, I did hear as well that Josh Schwartz and Chris Fedak have confirmed that this will not be part of the story. They're going to work around it. So similar to what's happened on hard. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, especially because I think the timing is perfect because they're going to wrap shooting just as she starts to show, and then they won't be shooting again, and hopefully they won't have too many episodes that they have to work around it. A bit of trivia is the first season of Greatest American Hero was affected by something similar. Connie Selica was fully pregnant in the first season of Greatest American Hero, and if you watch that season, most of the shots of her are close shots of her face, and literally, if you were to pan down, she's like got a big baby inside her. So
they
can do it.
Yeah. Yes, life imitates art. Congratulations to Sarah and her new husband.
Yeah. Yep. Now I have no idea how I could possibly segue from that into this episode. Well, it is a push mix. Yeah, baby. Yeah, babies. Chuck versus the push mix, I thought was an awesome episode. I do have to open the discussion by saying I regret the fact that Josh Schwartz and Chris Fedak pumped it up so much and specifically told us that what was going to happen in the last 10 minutes was going to be so epic that it was going to eclipse everything that had come before in the entire series. And when you use those kinds of words, I think it's immediately setting up for disappointment. But even so, I thought it was an incredibly strong episode. What did you guys think?
Well, I thought that he should have said the first 50 minutes would eclipse what we'd seen before. I thought I really liked the last 10 minutes. I did, but the first 50 minutes are what I would call epic, where they're working to bring down Volkov and. And if you go back and watch again and you see Chuck's plan in action, this is kind of set up like a pace, like a Leverage episode.
Yeah.
Plotted out like a Leverage episode where, they have some elaborate con going on and you can kind of pick up that there's some things happening, but you don't really know what's happening until the big payoff. And that's what was going on in this episode for me anyway. When I went back and watched knowing what the ultimate payoff was, I was able to see all the little clues that they had planted for us. I picked up on a couple the first time around, but rewatching, you can really see how layered this episode is and just how well written it was. In my opinion, it really, especially the first, like I said, the first 50 minutes, I thought lived up to the epic word that they like to throw around. But I thought the last 10 minutes were very good. Proposal is just, did my little romantic heart good. I loved the way they portrayed that it was such a private, intimate moment between the two of them. We didn't even hear what was being said, but we could tell what was being said and that, that she accepted. And I really loved how they did that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we were talking before the podcast about how this could actually have been the series finale if they didn't get the back nine and if they didn't get a renewal for the next season. And I think it would have been one of the strongest series finales that I would have seen, if I can put it that way.
It would have been
Yeah,
very
I think for me, the last 10 minutes I didn't hear too much about what was going on out there. I kind of stayed away because I don't want it spoiled for myself. So the last 10 minutes for me were breathless. I couldn't breathe.
Wow.
Couldn't exhale. I didn't see any of that coming. What happened? And, I didn't think that I was that dumb when it came to this show.
Uh-huh.
But I'm watching this last night and I'm going, what did Chuck do? I don't get it. And then, oh my gosh. So, I don't know.
Somebody went back and tracked it, and they said that the 10 minutes start when Volkov says solution.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess technically, we get the big payoff during that last 10 minutes. So, yeah, I guess that does count as epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liz, I was the same. As that was all going down, I was like, what? Oh, what?
Well, I think that actually raises a good point, though, because I think that if I hadn't have heard Josh Schwartz say the last 10 minutes, I think that if I would have probably enjoyed it just a hair more. I mean, I love the episode, but I think that I wouldn't have been hindered at all if it hadn't been for that. I did hear some reaction that was split about the episode, and one of the things that someone brought up was that it was so easy for Sarah when Mary Bartowski had been trying for 20 years to do this. I didn't have a problem with that, especially because they were working together. Mary Bartowski knew his security so well. She knew the 1 meter spot on the whole grounds that the security cameras wouldn't see. So, I mean, this is the person who was working with Sarah to take down this organization. She happened to catch her at right that